I'm not a college level reader or anything, so forgive me if I you know, read something. Just don't be a jerk about it, all right? I know I'm not the nicest person in the world, but just can everybody just chill? Why is everybody being so mean? Like, I know I've been mean, all right? But let's just be nice to each other. We all like nice comments, man. It really sucks. Blah 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 blah. Because you might have a little change of attitude when you realize that the wonderful, cushy, comfortable Kim K television reality TV life that we all live, which has been amazing for me. And I haven't had a great life. You know, I haven't been abused or anything like that, but I wasn't rich growing up. I was spoiled though. Anyway, you guys are being kind of pushed by your audience a little, and it's encouraging you to keep doing that. And then I can see some people want to lean away from the Kent Hovind stuff, but they can't because their audience leaves. And that's fine. Find a different, you don't want them types of people around anyways. Those people that dwell on constant negativity and they get joy out of you making fun of a good person. Well, not a good person, but another human being who has feelings and a heart and a family, and he has pain and suffering, and he cries, and you know, his feelings get hurt when his best friend, stops talking to him too. He's a human being, guys. So you guys can say all you want to. Oh, we're getting close. We're already close to a socialism. We're almost a socialist nation. What? Dude, I can go outside and say and do whatever I want to. As long as I don't do it in front of a kid. You know, like if I walk out naked or something. And on your own property, you can do whatever. You can drive a car without a license on your own property. You can drive it without a tag and insurance because it's your property. Now, when you go out onto the government's property, they want something from you because people can't be trusted, right? Human beings can't be trusted, and the government gives us tons of leeway and trust. But a human individual cannot be trusted because if they get into an accident, they think their problems are more important than anyone else's because that's how everyone is. They're selfish. Oh, me, 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 me. Oh, me, 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 me. Oh, me, 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 me. That every nation that's ever legalized homosexuality has went down. Now, I haven't confirmed that. I started to look it up a little bit, but then I started the video already and I just realized I didn't finish. So I don't know. Maybe somebody can confirm that for me or tell me if that is correct, but it makes sense to me. He desires ultimately to draw all nations into the light of his word, which is what Kent does and what America does. That's why America is so blessed. And we don't have a bunch of kids out on the streets like they do in Africa. And think about how terrible these people's lives are. That's why America is amazing. Man, we are awesome, and it's not because of us. Okay? It has nothing to do with us, because if I was running something, this place would be, we'd be in trouble, okay? Because think about it. This is what I'm focused on, trying to wake Mark and Cindi up. When there's stuff going on in the real world, out here in flesh and blood, you know, I'm worried about that, which is obviously not working. So, if Kent, even, I don't think he even watches my videos, but if he does, Kent, that's a sign. That should be a sign to you right there. America has totally been blessed. That's because they've been doing this. Like you've been doing. You've been blessed too. Very much so. Which is, you earned it. Okay, so I'm not saying that, like, you earned it. Me, I've been blessed and I don't deserve it. Any nation that gets up and starts putting that word out there and trying to wake the Jews up, they get blessed. Any of them. When you take that away and you make your nation's government all atheist, this is going to go away. All this good stuff, it's going to go away. And look, you don't have to believe me, because just watch. and if it does evil in my sight, not listening to my voice, his voice is Kent Hovind. Now, no, Kent Hovind is not God. That's not what we mean when we say that. Okay, we're not trying to say he is Moses. To be totally honest, I'm sure it's less about Kent being Moses as it is more about Cindi being Korah. That's really what's going on there. They're not comparing and saying Kent is Moses, and Kent never killed anyone. So if you want to look at it that way, Moses was probably way worse than Kent. Just saying. And it happens in micro situations as well. You know, kind of like the whole Moses and Korah thing. That was a huge deal. And it's a tiny deal at DAL. You guys are really smart about the Bible. I'm not new to this, but I'm new to reading it. You know, I've been saved for a long time, but I didn't read it. If our leader is getting into some kind of trouble, this is what you guys need to understand. These Christians out here that are against Kent. You need to understand that God is in control of everything. So he is going to handle Kent. I'm not saying Kent's a ruler of nations, okay? So please. I'm saying Kent is the leader of that ministry. It's his. He started it. It's his. Everything about it is his. It doesn't feel like that when you're there because Kent is awesome. And he wants everyone to feel equal to him. So you guys feel like, oh, well, I'm going to step up. And then when Kent finally says, no, you're not, I get the last say. You hate that. You hated that and you still do. And you know, the proof is in the pudding. Just go look at the pudding, right? We can't step in as a group of people into some person's private life and force them into doing something. You can't go walking into DAL and force Sandra to leave Kent because you're trying to rescue her. That's ridiculous. That sounds crazy. You wouldn't want it to happen to you, and you certainly shouldn't do it to anyone else. So I don't understand. That's what you guys are trying to do. You think you're rescuing someone from spending their money or from getting abused. It's like, why don't you just back off and mind your own business? If you're not here to help, then get out. Then get out. Get your crap and all your drama and get out. And then when you get out, you're mad about it because you know. Now, I got mixed feelings about what happened after that. But what happened, and it's none of my business, and we should just all deal with it. Including Cindi. And if y'all were her friends, you would be telling her that. You would be seeing it, but instead, you all have a personal vendetta as well. Or some of you live in her house. And Cindi, you're the queen of throwing people out for no reason. So don't give me this crap that you're not going to throw them out if they turned on you for the truth. You're putting them in a terrible position and making them choose you over the Lord. And no, I'm not calling Kent the Lord. Kent works for him. So he represents the company. Okay? That's all I'm saying. And I'm sure they're probably torn sometimes when they're not high. Yeah, I'm going to stay out of that one. Making the land an everlasting waste. How do we want this? Do we want this? I know Satanists want this. They don't say they do. But they do. Which is bizarre to me. Come on. You don't like being happy? Have you never been happy? If you haven't, you know, hit me up. We'll talk. I'll make you laugh or something. I know you guys are funny. You guys crack me up. Don't say you want to burn gay people. That is not nice. That's rude. That is not what that person needs to hear. They're in pain. And they're already mad about the Bible. They do not need to get any more angry with it. They do not want God when they hear the guy that's talking about him saying that they hope gays get burned alive. Indeed, government deserves not only obedience but honor. And they do. They have a hard job. Just like Moses. I think about that and I'm like, you guys act like he's comparing himself to Jesus or something. Talking about Kent. It's like Moses actually killed a person. But you know what is beautiful about that? Is it shows you how much God loves it when you try to protect the Jews. Because he loves them. Those are his people. And I'm telling you, if you're having money trouble or something, donate to a ministry over in Israel, trying to get the word out. Anything that has to do with the Jews. God loves that. He loves that. That's why Walmart is so the guy that started Walmart is so successful, because he I think most of his donations go to ministries over there. Look, the devil would never ever ever have laws and rules. He doesn't like them. He certainly wouldn't have any from God. Now, I'm not saying he isn't creeping slowly in there by putting his monuments in these state houses and government buildings, which is not good. It's really bad. It's really bad. If we lived in a nation like where heroin is really popular right now, anywhere in the nation that heroin is a popular thing, they can't even they steal everything that isn't nailed down. That's evil, and the government should be able to step in and take care of that and to do something about it. Yeah, they might take them down and rough them up and throw them in prison for a while. Good. Good. And look, I'm not coming from a place like I'm better than anybody else. Trust me. People will literally swim across the ocean to get here, to live in America, because we know what's up. Yeah, because doesn't it say during in the days of Noah that every heart there wasn't one that was good? It must have been pretty bad. I can't even imagine. We're not anywhere near that time, I'm sure. No, I think we are getting very close. And all you have to do is not rob your neighbor, not rape your somebody going down the street. I mean, not kill someone, not steal. That is all you have to do. And you should be afraid to do these things. Wouldn't you love it? Has anybody ever lost a family member to a murder or to something tragic that could have been avoided, like a drunk driving accident or an accident with a gun, or even an abuse victim? I mean, this is why I get so angry when they talk about abuse in Kent and Cindi, because it's like, you guys are muddying up the water for people who are abused. There's real women out there that are physically being beaten and abused, and you're calling what Kent did to Cindi abuse. That's not true. It's wrong, and you know it. And Cindi, I could tell you felt bad talking about that the other night. I could tell a lot of things the other night. And I love you guys' little conversation about me. Mark, what in the world would be so hard to believe that there might be someone doing magic around Kent? That's what they do. You think there isn't satanic witches? Hey, look, I'm not saying all witches are bad or anything like that. No one ever said anything like that. No one's ever said anything. It is not out of the realm of possibility that there might be someone around Kent that's using magic, because satanic witches use it all the time. It is not crazy to think that. And not every witch on earth is going to know who Kent Hovind is, but the satanic ones certainly do. They probably all do. They literally have a kingdom as well, Mark. Do you think these guys are not hanging around doing their job? To care for the church of God, which he obtained with his own blood. That's what Kent's job is. You call him yourself, you call him sheep. His sheep, he's being a bad shepherd. But then whenever he says he's got the Holy Spirit, you guys get all butthurt about it. It's like, get out of here with that. And about Miss Joanna, yeah, she's not helpful to either side. Who lies? The devil. He's the father of them, remember? So you really got to be careful, because I know I lie too. I'm not saying that she's knowingly working for the devil. She could be, I don't know. I have my suspicions, and I'm allowed to have my suspicions. I'm not going to go and kill anyone. I think that people should look at that verse, to not suffer a witch to live. They should look at that more like it's dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous to the entire nation, not just yourself. It's dangerous to your entire family. Now, people that don't understand what I'm saying, they don't get it. They don't get it. They're just going to think, oh, that's stupid because witchcraft isn't real. Okay, well, that's dumb. That's really dumb. I don't want to take it. I know that it was probably more of a for sarcasm or to be funny, but Aiden and Deviant both admitted to it when they said, "Come kill us, Steven." Well, what are they saying? Steven's not killing anyone, but you guys were saying, "Oh, well, follow the Torah and do what it says and don't suffer a witch to live." They jumped right out there and said, "Come get me." It's not out of the realm of possibility. Now, I'm not accusing them of anything. I had my curiosities, and I'm allowed to have whatever I want. And Steven is not who you should be, complaining about. I'm the one that originally had the suspicions, and you guys have no clue why any of us feel that way. You don't know. You've never asked. You don't care. I've told a couple of you, and none of you guys have talked about it. So it's like, well, and I know Mark will put everything that you've ever said to him on blast. It doesn't matter what, as long as it suits him. So, you guys don't care. So don't just assume you know and act like you're going to stand up and tell everybody what I think and what I know and if I'm delusional or not and that I'm like this liar that constantly makes things up. I'm nothing like that lady. You don't know me, and you don't want to know. Because if you did, you would ask. None of you guys are curious about that, so don't stand up like you know something, because I'm here openly, ready to tell you anything you want to know. Any questions you got, ask me. I'm totally open to it. But don't you dare not give a crap or not remember anything I've ever said to you and then stand there and act like you know what I'm thinking. You don't. You don't know anything about me. I think this is the end.